All right, tweakers, strap in. It's Wednesday night, which means we got the patch notes this morning, which means we're going to talk about this week, the week that was and the week that is, Internal Evolution. Today is March 22nd. I like to do this video segment every Wednesday night to basically highlight what's leaving the game and what's upcoming in this upcoming week, because this game refreshes on Thursday morning. So let's go into it real quick. Now, what's leaving? We don't really actually have a whole lot that is leaving the game, since we're in the middle of a content cycle. So we are getting one new limited banner. So we are losing Zeta. So Zeta, you got 7 hours to get a copy of Zeta. Now, they did rework Zeta once already. And then as of tonight with the patch, they are reworking her again. And she used to be trash. Tanks in general in this game were trash. And they are doing their darndest to try to make them worthwhile. So I would recommend getting a copy of her if you see this in the next 3 hours when it's probably going to be posted. Otherwise, you missed out. But I got mine to Immortal today as well in anticipation of what's to come. So that's gone in 7 hours. Now, what do we got for events that's gone? Nothing really. Details gathering. A couple Old John copies. You see I got one, although I missed a couple days on here. I could have got another one, but oh well. And we're missing, or this bell is also going to be taken off. Now, this has obviously the Summoner prototype that's kind of under my head. We got one copy of Zeta and one copy of Panda. I'm calling him Panda because that's what I like to call him. It rolls off my tongue a lot easier. I know some people don't want me to call him Panda. Some people are calling him Pandy. Anyways, Panda. There's a copy of Panda there. So hopefully you guys were lucky and you got a copy of that for yourself. Now, that is pretty much it. So we are not missing out on a whole lot. If you notice, there are red runes here now. Well, that's really cool. So Details Gathering is gone. Zeta Banner is gone. And the Gamuzo's Bell is gone. So that is the week that was, but what else is going on? So what's continuing is we have Summon Arena open. Right now it's been open for a few days. You see I probably got kicked out. Am I still in? Oh, no, I'm still in it. All right, okay, cool. Auto Battle starts in 20 minutes. I guess I'm going into Auto Battle on this account. That's okay. I don't really play Summon Arena on this account. So that is ongoing. That'll end after this upcoming week as well. Twilight Lands. Give me that. Thank you. All right. Red dot had to click. So Twilight Lands is also halfway done. So on my main account, I am ready and roaring for stage 16 now. We don't know exactly what type of stage, what type of battle this is going to be, but it kind of sounds like it's an endless wave gauntlet battle, same as the Christmas event, same as the Valentine's Day event, but that is just speculation. And the reason why I say that is if we look right here, chapter 16 is an endless mode, which can only be challenged on day 8 of the event. Enemies in this chapter will spawn endlessly. So if you have made it up past stage 15, like you see, there's my main account right there in 3rd. I think it took me 3 days to get there. Yeah, me and Aquan both got on the same day. Kraz just blew by in 1 day. So tomorrow it's going to be an endless stage, which means to get the top 10, we don't know what kind of boss it's going to be, what kind of team is going to be required, but we'll find out tomorrow morning. So that's ongoing. Summon Arena is ongoing, and that is pretty much the week that was. I did kind of touch on Panda. Panda is the current cycle content, the main piece of the current cycle content. Current content cycle, I should say. And is he good? I don't know. I think so. I'm putting enough faith in him that I have started on his exclusive 30. I got him up to 26 on my main account because he does seem like he's kind of a facilitator for the tanks. And they are buffing him already. He's been out for a week, and apparently tanks didn't live up to expectations, so they are buffing him, making him better. That tells me they really want tanks to be a thing for what's coming up next. I don't know what that is. Haven't heard. No idea. So let's talk about the patch notes. Let's go to them right now. We're going to go to them in-game here again. So let's move my head so that, there we go. That's a little bit better. All right. So we're going to go over these really quick because there's not a whole lot. There's really not a whole lot. Basically, it's the buffs to Panda, which is right here, and the buff to Zeta. Basically, what they're doing is these are exactly the same things as I read in a previous video that said tanks are getting better or tanks are buffed. What did I call that? Tanks are getting buffed already. Zeta and Pandemonium. So we've already gone over all this. Basically, the highlights is instead of melee resistance, they're giving him overall all resistance, which is melee and ranged. And then he's also getting a heal on his repeat ability. He has one ability that he will repeat over and over and over again if he hits someone with a shield, aka Vanguards. So they're giving him more survivability in the heal, and they're also giving him more survivability in this, they're calling it damage diversion, which is basically just damage reduction again. Like, it's basically what it says here is reduce all damage taken by 50%, all damage taken for 80 seconds, which is the extent of the majority of all PvP fights. This guy does seem like he's built for PvP. And then after 80 seconds, all tanks, they say all of our heavy heroes, that's meaning tanks, deal permanent 40% increased damage. But that doesn't really matter because the damage on the tank team comes from the commander, not so much the tanks. And then blah, blah, blah. You know, this is his passive. For every 2% damage reduction, Pandemonium takes 2% less melee damage. So he does get more melee on top of just the straight damage reduction, right? To a maximum of 30. So lots and lots and lots of damage mitigation, as well as a heal on one of his abilities, right? And they are fixing him, like we said, so that he doesn't proc with Vanguards, or doesn't proc his ability onto Vanguards. So that's pretty much Pandemonium. If you want to read it, the patch notes are on Discord, they're on Facebook, and they're in game. But that's about the gist of it. Again, I've already hashed this out in another video. Zeta, not as big of a buff. So, you know, they adjusted this one ability, Tidal Sanctuary, which instead of melee damage, Zeta gains damage deflection status, right? Same thing as Panda, reduces all damage taken by 50%. And then they're increasing her passive, Tide Song. She's going to increase her max HP recovery. What that does is basically, if you have it talented out, I think it's for every 9 basic attacks from people in the back line, she's going to heal, right? But the problem is with the tank team is that the back line is pretty much healers. So that heal, realistically, isn't that great. But she does give herself a big old shield. So that's one way that she can also basically kind of give herself HP, although it's shield, so which is based on her HP. What else? Level 30 passive skill of her exclusive. All right, so they're buffing her exclusive 30. I don't recommend anyone take it, although they are making it a lot better than it was. So it says Tidal Sanctuary skill gains enhancement upon the end of Shark King Sanctuary. Immediately refresh the cooldown of Tidal Sanctuary. Right, so basically she can reproc the ability that allows her to heal. So, right, but is that worth taking her to X30? Not in my opinion. That's really weird again. This thing likes to take off. We are getting a new limited banner. That being Anpu. We're getting Anpu, which is really exciting. This is the first time that Anpu has come back around. Ladies and gentlemen, if you do not have Anpu, I recommend you run. Don't walk. Run to get him. Right? Anpu is a key character in this game. I think he's still considered one of the top 5 characters to get. Plus, they're putting him in Giant Tower. So I know on my free-to-play account, the account, or not this account that we're looking at right now, but my baby account on my phone, I will be pulling 80 copies to get 2 copies of Anpu. So 1 from Pity, and then 20 more copies, or tickets. So 80 tickets total, which will get me this first copy of him from the Giant Tower. So Anpu banner, Giant Tower event starts with Anpu as the prize, and then they're adding a new assassin prototype, the Phantom Cloak. So a new quantum mimic machine, I almost messed that up, is opening. That's just a week-long event, right? That's where you go, you do things, and you get 3 attempts to pull on this machine. It's RNG. The prototypes and the SSS copies are really, 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 really rare. It's not likely you're going to get it, but you're going to get the chance. So the chance is to get Phantom Cloak and Sor Valley, which is the counterpart to Anpu. Anpu doesn't really work to his full potential unless you have Sor Valley. I just noticed that I left a box of ginger ale behind my head. Usually I clear off that space. Oh well. I guess you guys get to make fun of me for product placement. So Giant Tower, Quantum Mimic, both 7-day events, both really, really good rewards in there. And then the prototype itself, the Phantom Cloak, this is what it does, all right? And it's very, very good, I think. It says at the beginning of battle, but keep in mind this is a level 6, so I don't know what it's going to be at level 1. At the beginning of battle, assassin heroes receive reduced damage by 100%. So, yeah, assassins are going to be immune to damage. Yeah. This effect gradually decays to 25% over 25 seconds. So you can run the math and you can figure out how long it takes to get to lose 75% in 25 seconds. So that's 3% every second you're going to lose, right? But these are assassins we're talking about. If they get 15 seconds to do what they want to do without being hurt, they can do a lot of damage. After 25 seconds, all assassin heroes recover health equal to 1,600% of their own attack power. So I think this is, on paper, does sound like a fairly significantly good prototype for assassins, because especially if they're just immune to damage as the battle starts. So that's cool. Yeah, give us that. I'll have that maxed out in about 18 months. Not kidding. And then they're doing a bunch of switches or some changes to Crimson Abyss. So modified the list of recommended heroes and added tanks to it. So they want us to use our tanks on Crimson Abyss. Now this dungeon was completable. Members of my guild were completing it at level 15 with much difficulty. You had to put everything on manual, pretty much, one speed, and had to play everything perfectly right. And there was still RNG involved. And it needed an X30 Muka. So they're adding tanks to this, and they're adding this caveat that a tank, when used, counts as 3 heroes. So like Muka is going to have 2 wolves. Leo counts as 1. So if we can use... I don't know who's going to be better. I think Zeta might be better since she gives herself a shield and she can heal. But we'll see. Tanks now count as 3 units. You're either going to use Zeta or... Panda, but you're still going to want summoners, I do believe. So that is different. That is new. We'll see how much that changes it tomorrow when the patch comes out. I'm definitely going to try running some tanks as heroes, but I don't think I would pull out any of my summoners because I use Anpu, Daniel, and Sor Valley, and then Mazrani. I don't think I want to remove 2. The main damage dealers in that combo are... Daniel and Anpu, but if we remove Sor Valley, that's 4 deer plus herself, so that's 5 characters. If we put in 2 summoner or 2 tanks, I guess that's 6. But normally I was running Leo, so that's with her Leo and Sor Valley, that's 5. Maybe. We'll see. So that's cool. They're tweaking the Crimson Abyss to make it so that you can use tanks. And then what else? And then stuff that doesn't matter. And they're increasing the number of commander slots from 256 to 512. So they're giving us more room for commanders. I, for one, never, ever hit the commander cap. So this doesn't affect me. I prune my commanders pretty much every day to get the best ones. Really, I'm looking for 3 perfectly rolled commanders of every type and I'm good. And the rest I chuck. And then optimize the boss strategy pages. So they're just doing a bunch of like guide tweaks for people. So Panda rework, Zeta rework, Assassin prototype, Giant Tower, Quantum Mimic Machine, Crimson Abyss, tweak, and that's pretty much it. Bug fixes, don't care. None of these bug fixes mean really anything. No, these bug fixes are just non-consequential. So that is what's coming. Very, very little, really. I guess most of you that don't have Anpu, that's huge for you. Not so much for me. Yeah, that's it. One other thing that I wanted to show you guys. Where is this image? Here we go. Okay. So this is soft confirmation of something that's coming. That many people received this information. It's already been shared by one content creator, so I don't think I'm offside for talking about this, since it was never ever discussed to not discuss it. It was never ever explicitly told to us that we couldn't talk about it. So this came from the VIP system. If you don't know, and you can see it right there, English VIP. So there is a VIP system in this game. You have to kind of contact them yourself. And to be included in this little dialogue with the developers. I don't know if this is a developer or someone that represents the developers, but it's basically like a liaison to you and the developers, since you spend a lot of money, and you do have to spend a lot of money to get access to this program. I do believe you have to be at least military rank 10. So a lot of people in my cluster gave some feedback to their contacts in the VIP program, saying, you screwed up Cabal, you nerfed him to the ground, you basically made him useless, and gear sucks. Gear management sucks. Gear management is probably the worst aspect of this game by far right now. And in response to that, a bunch of people received this text from the VIP contact. So in regards to Cabal, I'm just going to read it here. Cabal is positioned to gain on assassin teams. Basically, Cabal positioning was meant to buff assassins. The original intention of adjusting him, of nerfing him, was to reduce the gain of non-assassin heroes such as Nord when using Cabal. However, it now shows that this change has also impacted negatively the assassins. Therefore, the dev team will make further adjustments to Cabal in the direction of further enhancing the damage caused by assassin heroes without affecting other heroes. The specific plan is still under discussion. We will basically get back to you in time once the plan is finalized. This change will be available in the future. Okay, so all they had to do to make him, to fix him, because it was kind of broken, the fact that Cabal worked for all heroes, is just make it assassin specific. So leave everything the same, but just make it so that the increased damage on the enemy side of the field is only applicable to assassins. That's all they had to do. And instead, they killed them. And they also killed the assassin team. So they're going to fix that. Hopefully they fix it as I've discussed. And that should be easy enough to do. And number 2, the smelting system, not the melting system, was intended to solve the problem of equipment redundancy. So not equipment redundancy, just equipment management. But it seems that the use is still very cumbersome. Yes, no one likes doing it. It is very, very, very tedious to do it. And people at endgame that they're spending a lot of crystals on stamina for all of these game modes have to go through a lot of gear, and you have to pick and choose, and it's just a mess. Therefore, To promote better use of equipment recycling system, basically they're going to make a system to help manage gear recycling. And the equipment decomposition system is near to completion now. So they are working. They have been receiving our feedback. They have been listening. So kudos to them. They have been listening to this complaint. And this isn't just us complaining. This was a function of the game that I don't know if they anticipated to get out of hand so quickly. But especially with the introduction of the new gear dungeons, it has spiraled out of control. So they have been looking to fix it. It says they're making a new system where it functions by automatically decomposing red and below equipment, and white equipment can be decomposed manually by filtering unwanted sets by set. So that is exactly what we have. White equipment, oh yeah, decomposed manually. So they're adding a decomposition. So basically what it's going to do is we're going to be able to break it down into metals, right? The metal, I think it's called metals, whatever it is. You know, it's a little triangle piece. So it's automatically going to get rid of anything under white, and then the white ones, you can go through it manually and decompose it. Or I hope they don't get rid of the smelting thing because I use smelting quite a bit. And I'm assuming maybe they're talking about this as just normally how we're doing smelting gear. So this new system, is expected to be available to everyone in the update on March 30th, which is a week from today. And will be further optimized as appropriate. So again, that was a soft confirmation of other things that are upcoming. Not this week, but possibly next week. I just thought I would share with you in case you haven't seen it, and in case that you are getting frustrated with the fact that, gear management sucks. So that's pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. That is this week in Internal Evolution. We're mid-cycle, so nothing groundbreaking. No new character. It's going to be, other than Summon Arena and Twilight tomorrow, it's going to be a slow week. So, but it's an idle game, right? So, you know, you shouldn't be staring at your screen for more than an hour a day. 2 hours if you're like me. So 2 hours times 3 accounts. Oof, I don't want to think about that. So ladies and gentlemen, if you have any comments, questions, concerns, put them in the comments below. All my links are in the description. And I'll catch you all next time. Cheers. Peace. Bye-bye.